Good morning and happy Money Making Monday to everybody out there. CJ Curry back with another Prize Picks video. We're well into our way. Round 2 of the NBA playoffs. We've got a couple of games tonight, and so we're going to take a look at the Prize Picks board, see what type of value exists out there. We're going to use real data pulled from sports books, pulled from our top favorite NBA projection models, and we're going to use that to guide our decision making on these 3 picks that I have lined up for you. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, get subscribed. We just recently passed 23,000 subscribers. I appreciate everybody who already has subscribed. Whether you're subscribed or not, if you could go down to the like button and smash that sucker for me. We're going to set today's goal at 99.5 likes. I'm taking the over. I'm taking more on 99.5 likes because me and you, we're unstoppable. We're the tag team to beat. So hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet. Now, if you're not playing on PrizePicks, it's a great time to get started. They're still doing a 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $100. Use code Curry, make that first deposit. You're going to get a dollar for dollar price match all the way up to a $100 limit. So I've left a special link for you down in the description of today's video. Feel free to use that link, use that code Curry, and make your first deposit. Start playing on PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made easy. And you know what makes playing on PrizePicks even easier is the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. It's my go-to weapon, my go-to tool in my arsenal here. And so this is what we have pulled up. Now what this tool does is goes out and it looks at all the different sports books. It looks at the data, the odds from these sports books. It strips out the juice or the vig that these books charge you to place the bet on their given sports book, and it gives you true odds essentially of a player prop to hit for you. So we're looking at the first one here. It's Josh Hart of the New York Knicks. He's sitting out there at 28.5 points and rebounds on PrizePicks, but he's at 27.5 points and rebounds on just about every other site where you could place a bet on this player prop. So you can see FanDuel has him at 27.5, DraftKings 27.5, Caesars 27.5, MGM 27.5. And so why would we want to pay a more expensive price here for Josh Hart at 28.5 points and rebounds when he's at 27.5 points and rebounds? So we're thinking about taking the under here, given this has almost a 54% chance of coming through for us, 53.84% to be exact. Now, that's not a 100% chance. Obviously, if you've played on PrizePicks before, if you've played any type of sports betting, sports books, or anything like that, you know that these player props don't have a 100% chance to hit, all right? It's still very much gambling. There's risk involved here, so bet accordingly, bet responsibly. I like to put 1 to 3% of my entire bankroll on each slip or entry that I make on these types of sites. So anyway, if you want to take the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer out for a spin, it's a great time to do so. 25% off your first month when you use code Curry. Special link for you down in the description of today's video. But so far, things are looking pretty good here for Josh Hart as far as our chances or our odds of this prop hitting the under for us. For those of you who like to look at more advanced statistics and you like to roll up your sleeves and do a little bit of digging for yourself, well, there's a great tool out there called Outlier. Outlier makes all your player prop research needs very easy and accessible. Take a look at what we've got here. What I've pulled up are games from this season in which Josh Hart has played at least 40 minutes. Now, why I put 40 minutes in there as sort of a filter is because he's been playing 40 or more minutes throughout the last few games of this playoff run. Getting a ton of minutes. Bojan Bogdanovic is out. Obviously, Julius Randle is out. And so that has opened up a ton of playing time here for Josh Hart. But despite the fact that he plays 40 minutes or more in these 29 games that you see before you, the fact of the matter is he has gone under this 28.5 points and rebounds line in nearly 70% of the games in which he has played at least 40 minutes. And so things are looking really good here for an under. He's averaging just under 26 points and rebounds per game in those games where he's played at least 40 minutes or more. And you can kind of get an idea of what he's done on the home games. He's going to be playing in New York tonight. By flipping on this toggle here, you can see that the games that he's played at home in which he's had at least 40 minutes, he's gone under in 12 out of 17 games. That's a 71% hit rate, which is a fantastic hit rate. Shoot, I'm happy when I can find a prop that's hitting at a 60% hit rate, let alone 71%. So things are looking really nice here for Josh Hart. Now, one thing that I also notice is when we clear out the filters and we just take a look at the head-to-head games, These are head-to-head games, Josh Hart versus the Indiana Pacers, in which he has gone under in 5 of his last 5 games against the Indiana Pacers for whatever reason. 18, 21, 20, 17, and 14 points and rebounds in those games. So he stayed under 28.5, and he stayed under by a country mile. So 100% hit rate, 5 of 5, averaging about 18 points and rebounds. Just a little head-to-head glimpse. I wouldn't put too much weight into this, but it is interesting to see that he has gone under in every game versus Indiana over his last 5 games. Taking a look at some projections, because I know a lot of you like the projection models. We're going to take a look at a really fantastic tool. It's RotoWire. Their projections for Josh Hart, a lot of them are on the under. You see their projection model has him at 26.61 points and rebounds. So projections are, again, not a guarantee, but most likely outcome of what would happen on any given night, a normal night. And so Josh Hart projecting well under 28.5 points and rebounds on RotoWire. But I don't stop there. I like to check multiple projection models. And so we're going to go over to another one of my faves, which is this one. It's Action Labs. And you type in Josh Hart's name over there, and you can see he's projected for about 27.3 points and rebounds. So for me, Josh Hart, I would be leaning toward the under on Josh Hart versus the Indiana Pacers tonight based on the data, based on the research that we have found. Now, if you feel some type of way, you want to go against the grain, you want to be different, you want to be more of a risk taker, and you want to take the over on Josh Hart, well, I'll leave that up to you. But all signs are pointing to the under or the less in this case. Now, the other side of this game, Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers sitting out there at 16.5 points. What makes this a good value play is that when you go and you punch in Miles Turner's name over on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, you can see he's got about a 52.81% chance of going over. Now, a good sign for us is that sharp sports books like Pinnacle, in fact, one of the sharpest sports books, arguably the sharpest sports book that's out there, they've got him at 17.5 points, as does BetMGM and Caesars. They've already got him at 17.5 as well. Some of these other sports books still have him at 16.5, which is where we're getting him on PrizePicks. But the fact that you're seeing him at 17.5 on some of these other books is typically a good sign that we're getting some value here, and that there's a chance that his line is just a little too low at 16.5. So almost a 53% chance that he's going to go over 16.5 points based on the odds, the data pulled from these different books. Now, when we go over to Outlier, we take a look at the games in which he has played at least 30 minutes. The reason I put in the 30-minute filter is because he's been playing about 30 minutes or more in most of the playoff games in which he has appeared this season. But you kind of get an idea of what he's done at 30 or more minutes. 22 out of 28 games in which he has played, he has cleared 16.5 points. He's averaging a healthy 21 points per game, which is fantastic here for Miles Turner. Now, again, you could take this a step further using Outlier's fantastic tools. You could show just the games that he's played on the road, in which he's received at least 30 minutes. And then you got a 73% hit rate, or 11 out of 15 games in which he's appeared, he has gone over, averaging just under 20 points per game in those 15 games. So the hit rates are looking pretty darn good here for Turner. And you take a look at the head-to-heads versus the New York Knicks. Well, he's done a pretty decent job there when he gets about 30 minutes. The last 2 times that he's played the Knicks, back on December 30th of 2023 and February 10th of 2024, he's got 28 and 23 points under his belt versus this New York Knicks team. So more than capable of clearing 16.5 points when the minutes are there and his shot is falling. So hit rate's looking pretty darn good here for Miles Turner. Now, what about the projections? I know you guys love the projections. Let's go grab some projections for you. First projections looking mighty fine, 17.82 projected points. So again, the 16.5 just feels a little bit too underweight, a little bit too light. So maybe he ends up getting bumped up to, I don't know, 17, possibly 17.5. I know he's went under in his last couple of games, but this is a new series, new matchup, and hopefully it's a new and improved Miles Turner. Second projection for you. We're going to head over here to Action Labs, and we're going to punch in Miles Turner's name, and you can see that he's projected for about 19 points over there. So 19 is a whole heck of a lot more than the 16.5 number that he is currently sitting at on PrizePicks. So for me, I would be leaning toward the over or the more on Miles Turner. So we've talked about 2 picks from that New York Knicks Indiana Pacers game. Let's go back out west and talk about Ant-Man. Anthony Edwards is sitting at 5.5 rebounds. But before we do that, if you're looking for a kick butt community, I've got one set up for you, and it's set up through Dub Club. So for as little as 67 cents per day, heck, it gets even cheaper when you sign up for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You can get access to our community. We're sharing our favorite picks, props, parlays, plays, information, you name it, we're sharing it. We're trying to help each other win more. Not only do I contribute a ton of picks each and every day, but so do some of our other long tenured members, guys that are doing things the right way. They're sharing their favorite baseball picks, their favorite tennis picks, their favorite esports picks, their favorite second half NBA picks. I mean, you name it, all right? We're playing it. So if you're looking for a good community, think about joining the Dub Club. They'll start you off with a 3-day free trial. After that 3 days, it's $20 a month, or you could choose to opt into a more long-term package and save yourself some money. So full Discord access, full access to all the picks that I play each and every day, available for you down in the description of today's video, or check the pinned comment. We're tackling PrizePicks, underdog, and some sportsbook plays here and there. So if that sounds cool to you, I would appreciate your support. Thank you for all the love and the support to all my current Dub Club members. All right, so let's talk about Anthony Edwards at 5.5 rebounds. We're going to go back over here to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We're going to type in Ant-Man's name here. And when we do so, you can see that at 5.5 rebounds, about a 52.1% chance that Anthony Edwards is going to haul in at least 6 boards versus the Nuggets. He did clear his line in that last game against Denver. Let's hope tonight is more of the same. Taking a look at some of the hit rates here for Anthony Edwards when he plays at least 40 minutes. Because let's be honest, this guy's not going to leave the court unless he's in foul trouble or he's injured. I mean, they're going to run him out there for 40 minutes or more per game. And so the games in which he has had at least 40 minutes and he's played alongside the fellow starters. And the reason I mentioned the fellow starters is because Karl-Anthony Towns was out for stretches this season. So I wanted to kind of just look at the games in which he has played with as many of the actives for the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. And you can see that he has gone over 5.5 rebounds in 5 out of 5 games in which he has played at least 40 minutes. Even if we dial this down to like 38 minutes, let's say we think maybe he plays 38 or more minutes tonight, maybe he doesn't get a full 40. Well, he's still gone over in 9 out of 12 games, 75% hit rate, averaging over 7 rebounds per game. That's 7.5 rebounds per game, 2 rebounds higher than where his line currently sits at 5.5. So hit rates are exceptional here when you talk about Anthony Edwards getting 38 or 40 minutes or more tonight. As far as head-to-head goes against the Denver Nuggets, let's just clear out some of these filters here. You can see that in his last 8 games, last 8 games versus the Nuggets, he's gone over in 5 out of 8. Now, this dates back to last season, so some of this data is a little bit irrelevant. But again, when you dial up his minutes all the way up to, let's say, 38 minutes, 4 out of 6 games in which he's played against Denver, he's gone over in 38 or more minutes. If you dial it up to 40 minutes, which you can do with the Outlier app here, you can see he's gone over in 3 out of his last 3 games against the Denver Nuggets when he's played at least 40 minutes. So he's been doing a good job of rebounding. Plain and simple, point blank. So we go over here and take a look at some projections for Anthony Edwards. I think everybody loves a good Anthony Edwards over. Hopefully this one is a good Anthony Edwards over play. 6.6 rebounds is the projection for Anthony Edwards over on RotoWire. When we take a look at where he's at on Action Labs, go over to the rebounds category, punch in his name, you can see he's projected for 6.2 rebounds. And I've also checked other projection models beyond the 2 that I show here, RotoWire and Action Labs. I've checked EV Analytics. I've checked Number Fire, and he's projected to go over on pretty much every site that I've checked out. So Anthony Edwards for more than 5.5 rebounds looks like a good and final solid play here. So there's 3 picks for you. What do you guys think? Are you liking these picks, hating these picks? Are you going to play them? Are you going to fade them? Let me know down in the comments section below your questions, comments, concerns. I always like to get in your head and see what you guys are thinking, what you guys are playing each and every day. Good luck on all your picks, plays, and parlays. And to everybody out there who's a Dub Club member, I will see you inside of Discord later on. I'll be posting more picks.